Welcome back to American Agenda, joined again by Boyd, Curtis, and Sam. You know, I wanted to talk for a second as we wait on the president appearing in Ypsilanti, Michigan, in front of a beautiful F-150, but I won't get into that right now. There is talk that Senator Graham may, when they come back after Memorial Day, Curtis, actually start trying to get people testifying, and that could include Mr. Comey, Mr. Brennan, and a number of other people. What's your response to that, and what would you like to see?
Well, it's about time. I mean, the Republicans have controlled the Senate throughout President Trump's entire first term, and they've done nothing, absolutely nothing, to hold these people accountable. There's been a mountain of evidence that we've seen the greatest political scandal in our nation's history.
Could you describe that for me, Curtis? Because I hear this under the, Obamagate. Tell me what bothers you so much.
Right. Well, we saw the evidence is there that the previous administration used the powers of the government, the FBI, the CIA, the Secret Intelligence Services of America, against their political opponents. They targeted Michael Flynn. They targeted President Trump, candidate Trump. This is the exact type of behavior that led to the Church Commission in 1977, when Senator Frank Church, a liberal Democrat, convened a commission to investigate abuses of the FBI and the CIA. They were being used then to target the political opponents. At that time, the opponents were Martin Luther King, anti-war activists, people like that, civil rights activists. And this is unacceptable.
Okay, let's give Boyd a chance. Curtis, I'm right in there with you. I just want to get some other folks in the conversation. Boyd, you agree with Curtis?
Yeah, I think the important thing is we do have to get to the truth first, and then we have to look at some major reforms structurally. One of the things that took place last week that didn't get a lot of coverage, what was going on in terms of some additional controls for the FISA courts, which is what people use to be able to tap in and spy. And so those things are really important, because that if we don't have trust in that, then we've lost everything, really. And so that ability of the FBI and others to go to the FISA court, the audit showed that 29 out of 30 cases had mistakes, and yet people were able to either lie to, spy on, or target. And when you get to what was mentioned in terms of targeting political opponents, that's the ultimate chess match there. And so we have to be able to have trust in that process. Some good reform happened last week, but we have a long way to go, and these hearings are an important first step of the process.
Sam, AG Barr moves to drop the case, then Emmett Sullivan. This should have been as simple as a signature, and we know that didn't happen. But Barr has said that we need to restore confidence in the system, and yet Michael Flynn is still waiting, and his life is on hold. Do you feel like these Senate hearings will potentially bring that truth and perhaps get us closer to the truth and restore that confidence?
Well, hope springs eternal, but I just want to point out that if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it could be. I'm just saying, 39 of top officials in the Obama cabinet and administration asked for the unmasking. That is not something that normally happens. That is abnormal. 39 of them asked for it. They were targeting Michael Flynn. They were targeting the president. They used the power of the FBI, the CIA, the governmental institutions and agencies to target a private citizen for political reasons. This is not a nothing burger. And if you recall back during the campaign, Trump said, the FBI has tapped my phones. And the press said well, that doesn't matter. What of it? If the FBI trapped your phones, that's not even a big deal. They didn't. What they said was, oh, don't be ridiculous. That couldn't possibly happen. Well, guess what? It happened. And the American people have to wake up, because this is the government working specifically against the American people. Don't think they were targeting Trump. Mm-hmm. They were targeting the American people.
All right. Boyd, do we need to get the Burisma folks also up there, including Hunter Biden?
Yeah, I think Sam brings such an important point to this. This is not just targeting political opponents. This ultimately is targeting the American people. We can't emphasize that enough. And so, yeah, it should you should follow the facts, just like we always say, follow the facts, follow the information, and go where it goes. But this is so deep in terms of what's happening inside the FBI and in other agencies inside the government, that if they feel like they have unlimited, unrestricted, unrestrained power, that they're going to use it. And I love that Sam raised this. We heard in the hearings last week, we thought this could never happen. We thought we had all the right controls in place. They would never use it to target a citizen, but we found out differently, and we got to get that fixed.
Curtis, who do you think is behind all of this? Do you think it's the former president? Do you think this is James Comey, kind of as a maverick?
Well, certainly Comey was, I don't know if he was the Moriarty, the mastermind behind this, but you see that he was out of control. The elected officials, the people who answered to the elected officials, like Sally Yates, who was the acting attorney general, she knew nothing about what Comey was doing. So here you have a guy who's supposed to answer to the chain of command who wasn't answering. But the other very disturbing thing is that we know that Barack Obama and Joe Biden were briefed on all of this. They said so. Yep. And no counterintelligence investigation begins without the president's say-so. And anything that would be investigating a political campaign, you would think that nobody'd want to go down that road unless they cleared it with the president of the United States. So you would have to be blind, deaf, and dumb to think that President Obama didn't know something about this. That would be almost scarier if you had James Comey doing this without even telling the president. So it's hard to determine which is worse. The president did this, or the FBI did it without even telling the president.
Yeah, there you go. That's one of the questions, I suppose. Thank you so much, Boyd Matheson, Curtis Ellis, and Sam Sorbo. Thanks so much for being with us.